I want to share with you my fishing leaderboard. Now, basically, this is the medium size, and I have large and small. I was using these as mostly jig holders in my steelhead gear, but I've decided this year that I want to put my used rigs on here. Now, I have a brand new one that I just bought, and this one was in the garage, so I went ahead and grabbed that out. Now, the first thing that I do is I normally put some slots in the end because I like to run the lures this way. The manufacturer recommends running this way, and I'm going to show you both really quick today. So I got a used rig right here, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on. And the reason I'm going to use the used one and not a brand new one is because it's barbless. So I'm going to first take it and put it on the manufacturer's recommended way, and that's this way. So I'm just going to pin that hook right in there and then take the other hook and make sure that it's facing down and away. Then I'm going to grab this, and I call this a soft spinner rig, and basically you've got a spinner and a squid and some hooks. Now I'm going to pin that right in there in that slot, and then the same slot below, and wrap it until all the leader is gone. And then I've got the swivel here. I can do two things with this swivel. I can either stick it in one of these slots right here and just let it go like that, which is really nice to do, especially with a used board. After the slots start to open up a little bit, it's really easy. Or I can wrap it, but I'm just going to leave it like that for this demo. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take this off really quick. Now, I like to run them the long way, and that's not how the manufacturer recommends. But when you get the board, you just come along and you cut in every centimeter just like that. I've done 3 of them already, and then the same thing on the other end. Every centimeter. If you want to use a ruler, you can. I usually just freehand it. And then you'll take your rig, and in between the first cut and the second cut, you'll put in that hook. Same thing. Lay it down, pull it tight, and then put the line in that first slot, and then run it back down to the first slot down here, and same thing, back through the first slot. And then when you get here, you can either wrap it or you can find a slot and stick it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just for this video, I'm just going to find one of these slots and stick it in there just like that. And then you can take the whole thing and set it inside of your container and put the lid on it. It'll be safe and sound, so you don't have to worry about anybody stepping on it. That's the main reason that I like to put these in there, is because of damage. And then when I get home, if they're rusty or whatever, then I cut the hooks loose, rinse all this other equipment off, and reuse it later. But this right here will make your life better. Now, there's a couple of questions that I want to answer really quick. And the first one, is this worth it? And I think it really is. I've made my own with my own foam board, and these are just, they work better. They are the right type of foam. I believe it's closed cell and super light. And you can give them a little bend when you're wrapping. And when you let go of that bend, it really keeps everything snug. Now, as keeping it snugged, some people worry about it kinking your line. I have never had that problem, but if you think that's going to be an issue, just run the mono through your fingers. Mono is really good about straightening it out if you do that. Fluorocarbon a little less so, but I use mostly mono now, so that is really a good solution. And then, do the hooks rust? Well, the hooks are coated. So once you snap off the barbs, they're gonna rust there over time. But if you get them out of the water, rinse them off with some fresh soap water, which I usually keep Fresh Joy mixed up, it usually will last pretty good, and it's not gonna damage your board at all because I do it all the time. So check these out. I think if you do, you'll be really happy with what you got, and this is definitely my favorite organization solution for my lures.